When it came to my fuel economy for the week, it was actually pretty terrible. Hey guys, I'm Juliana, your automotive woman, and this week I'm behind the wheel of the 2024 Mazda CX-5. Before I get into cargo, passenger space, and my real world fuel economy, I'm going to quickly cover what's new, price, and performance. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because this review starts right now. For 2024, Mazda's introduced a new trim level to the CX-5 lineup, the Suna in Canada beginning at just over $44,000, and then the US, the Carbon Turbo trim beginning at $37,000. This new trim is easy to spot, adding blacked out trim pieces such as the front grille, side mirrors, lower side panels, 19-inch wheels with black metallic finish, and standard zircon sand metallic paint. iActive all-wheel drive will be standard across the CX-5 lineup, but when it comes to engine options, you have two, a base 2.5-liter four-cylinder or this 2.5-liter turbo four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission. This is producing 256 horsepower with 320 pound-feet of torque, but there's a catch. You have to fill your tank with premium fuel in order to achieve the higher horsepower and torque. And while I'm on the subject of horsepower and torque, this is how your 2024 Mazda CX-5 is going to look off the line when it's equipped with a 2.5-liter turbo four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission, producing 256 horsepower with 320 pound-feet of torque when in sport mode and when filled with premium fuel. Sport mode activated. Now, let's go. Pretty good. I mean, snowy conditions, so it's decent. There's definitely potential. As for the interior, buyers have the option between real or synthetic leather. The new trim receives a two-tone, which is super nice. Then you have the choice between sunroof and no sunroof. And then Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard, but you also have the option between wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And now top trims receive standard mobile charging. And if you didn't do before, make sure you subscribe because now it's time to get into cargo, passenger space, and my fuel efficiency for the week. The CX-5 has been out for a minute now, so there really is no secret when it comes to it offering less cargo space than a few of its competitors. If you're looking for more cargo space, then I highly recommend the Mazda CX-50 I reviewed because that vehicle was quite impressive. That aside, using the convenient rear seat release handles on either side, which fold in my preferred 40-20-40 split configuration, and with the trunk floor positioned at its lowest level, you'll receive 1,680 liters or 59.3 cubic feet of space. Other features in the Suna or Carbon Turbo trim trunk area include a standard power liftgate, which is adjustable in height. The cargo cover is standard along with the rubber floor mat, and under the trunk floor you'll find a temporary spare tire. And lastly, your CX-5 will be able to tow up to 2,000 pounds. I have never seen this feature located here. I absolutely love it and I think it's genius. So your Suna trim or Carbon Turbo in the US is going to come equipped with standard rear heated seats, and to activate the feature, push these buttons located up here and then lift up the lid and you'll find two USB ports. This is a genius. I absolutely love it. And then when it comes to comfort and space, I think the positioning for these seats are well done as well because they sit a little bit lower, and if you travel with taller guests, well then you'll have more than enough headspace. Great. And then for storage, you have pockets available behind both front seats. The side door storage is on par with the rest of the competitors in this segment. There's no climate panel back here. Wasn't expecting it because it's a compact crossover, but you have two vents. If you're looking for additional connectivity, we'll look inside your front center console and you'll find one 12-volt port and two more USB-C ports. So before I hit the road to speak about my fuel economy for the week and my final driving impressions, I'm quickly going to cover front passenger comfort and technology. So first, make sure you speak to your Mazda specialist about the Mazda Connected Services app because you gain even more convenience, such as a remote starter, which will allow you to preheat and cool your cabin in advance. And then to clarify again this week, I'm reviewing the Suna trim in Canada or the Carbon Turbo trim in the US. US, and I'm going to begin up top with the small sunroof, which is manual to open and then power operated. These front seats are power operated. The driver's side is memory supported. They are both heated, ventilated, and the steering wheel is also heated. On the right side of the steering wheel, you'll find your adaptive cruise control features, and FYI, you receive standard LED lighting with high beam assist, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross traffic alert. On the left side, you'll find shortcuts for your Bose audio sound system, which sounds fantastic, Bluetooth, and voice command. The driver cluster is digital in the center and then analog. A heads-up display is included, but you'll also have the option to deactivate it by scrolling through the 10.25-inch infotainment system. Moving to the infotainment system, which is very, very user-friendly. It's controlled by using the buttons down low or the dial knob, but you can also connect your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay device, and it becomes touch activated, which is super cool and convenient. Lastly, with the Suna or carbon turbo trim, you receive standard mobile charging and one 12-volt port up front. When it came to my fuel economy for the week, it was actually pretty terrible, but there's a reason. Number one, it's extremely cold outside, and even ICE vehicles don't perform as efficiently in cold weather. So technically, yes, internal combustion engines perform well in cold weather, but not extreme cold weather, because then oil flow gets involved. But I learned a lot of that stuff during my motorsport days. So now you know, I'm not just a pretty face. Number two, winter tires. It's no secret, winter tires do not roll as efficiently as summer performance tires or all-season tires. So all that aside, when I combined my urban and highway driving for the week, I was only able to average 12.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which is way worse than what Mazda advertises. As for my final driving impressions for the week, I like this powertrain more than the CVT I previously reviewed. I definitely like the overall balance of performance. I would choose this vehicle, the CX-5, over the Kia Seltos or Nissan Rogue for the drivability. It was a bit more fun. Overall comfort is really, really good. And in this particular trim, the Suna in Canada or the Carbon Turbo in the US, I like the two-tone and the fact that the heated seats and heated steering wheel and small sunroof are all standard. As for visibility, for me, it's not as good out the front because this infotainment system protrudes a bit too much out of the dash. But again, that's me. I sit lower. For you and you sit higher, you're going to see just fine. Visibility out the side is really good too, but pay attention by that C-pillar because you still have a bit of a blind spot, but take advantage of that blind spot monitoring. As for noise cabin quality, not very good, but I'm going to blame that on the winter tires. If you want a bit more information, look down in the description below. And guys, while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.